Thank you for joining us now. Here's some of the reports we're filing at this time. I am Frank Komalape. We'll begin with the update from the 12th WTO Ministerial Conference in Geneva, Switzerland, where the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has warned that real global gross domestic product by 4 to 5% if the world economy decouples into self-contained trading blocks. In view of these, members were urged at the opening session in Geneva, Switzerland, to demonstrate that the body could deliver for the international community and the people it serves. In her opening speech to the WTO's Ministerial Conference, Okonjo-Iweala stressed that over the next few days, members will have a chance to show the world that the WTO can step up to the plate. She pointed out that the world was grappling with the uncertainty and crisis on multiple fronts. She says striking agreements in Geneva will enhance the ability of all members to respond to people's aspirations at home, aspirations for food, for health, for security, for better jobs, higher living standard, and a sustainable environment on land, in the oceans, and atmosphere. Now, China has been confirmed to be dominating trade relationships with Nigeria, with bilateral trade deficit against Nigeria widening in favor of China. Available data shows a steady increase in Nigeria's importation from the Asian country, rising by 183.91% from 530.9 billion naira in the first quarter of 2018 to 1.5 trillion naira in the first quarter of this year. According to the National Bureau of Statistics data on foreign trade, China is responsible for the bulk of imports into Nigeria, ranking #1 on the list of top 10 countries in the 5 quarters under review. However, export to China is negligible, as Nigeria was missing from the nation's top 10 export destinations in the first quarter of 2018, the first quarter of 2020, first quarter and 2022. Only in first quarter of 2021 did China rank in the top 10 export destinations, when it ranked third with 190.1 billion naira. And the same quarter, total imports from China were put at 2.01 trillion naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria has revealed that after months of drop, Nigeria's external reserve has recorded 3 consecutive days of increase. CBN stated that it's its latest foreign reserve data on its website. The latest figure, which is on Thursday, June 9, shows the reserves currently stand at $38.5 billion, an increase from $38.4 billion the previous day. On Tuesday, June 7, the reserve increased for the first time in days to $38.4 billion. In the last few months, CBN has been struggling to add more dollars to the reserves, which were expected given the high oil prices. Away from the Nigerians' use of mobile channels for payment transactions has risen by 3,454.46% from 136.58 billion naira within the first 4 months of 2019 to 4.8 trillion naira in the corresponding period of 2022, according to data from the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System. This growth follows a 13.98% increase in the number of telecommunication subscribers in the nation, from 176.6 million in April 2019 to 201.3 million in the corresponding month of 2022. Data from the mobile inter-scheme portal of the NIBSS showed a significant increase in the value of mobile transactions started during the pandemic, which is consistent with its instant payment, a 2022 annual statistic report. The report revealed that the COVID-19 pandemic had changed the e-payment landscape and accelerated the adoption of instant payment. In the meantime, Boston Consulting Group, BCG, a global management consulting firm, has in a recent study warned that Nigeria and 44 other countries around the world are severely exposed to the impact of the Ukraine war-induced food crisis. The new report, titled "The War in Ukraine and the Rush to Feed the World," explores in detail the multiple direct and indirect impacts of the turmoil in Ukraine on global food systems. The BCG report, co-authored with Food Systems for the Future, also provides 13-year and medium-term solutions to help respond to the crisis and improve the resilience of global food systems. He said the affected countries concentrated in Africa, South Asia and Latin America are hotspots around the world as they are enduring some of the worst effects of the crisis. Additional factors worsening the food crisis identified in the report include heavy reliance on food import, high import bills, high inflation, a high debt burden, climate risk, and civil unrest. And now the domestic debt stock of the 36 states in Nigeria, including the Federal Capital Territory, rose to 4.84 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2022, representing an 8.6% increase compared to 4.46 trillion recorded as of the previous quarter. This is according to information released by the Debt Management Office, DMO. On a year-on-year basis, the debt stock of the state increased by 17.5% compared to 4.12% or 4.12 trillion naira recorded in the corresponding period of 2021. A further look at the data shows that Lagos, Ogun, and Rivers State led the list of states with the highest domestic debt stock as of March 2022, jointly accounting for 26% of the total state domestic debt profile. Lagos State led the list with 780.48 billion naira domestic debt as of March this year, accounting for 16.1% of the entire state domestic debt. Ogun State is a distant second with 241.98 billion naira domestic debt stock, representing 6.1% of the total debt. Rivers State follow closely in the third place with 225.5 billion naira domestic debt. Imo State recorded a domestic debt stock of 204.6 billion naira, while Akwa Ibom State recorded a domestic debt of 203.1 billion naira respectively. And now, clean tech utility and energy access company HAVENHILL Synergy Limited has been awarded grant funding for Power Africa through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, for the electrification of 50 primary health care facilities in Oyo State, Nigeria. Reports showed that about 60% of healthcare facilities in Africa do not have access to electricity, and of those that do, less than 30% have reliable access to electricity. For these healthcare facilities to deliver quality and efficient services, access to reliable electricity is important. Similar to the grant funding received by the company in 2020, the funding is expected to boost the scale-up of the solar and energy storage system to additional 50 primary healthcare centers in Oyo State. Speaking about the grant, the Chief Executive Officer of HAVENHILL Synergy Limited, Olusegun Odunaya, said this is a win for the industry and the healthcare facilities to be electrified. Away from there now, the federal government says it is targeting 70% of broadband penetration and not more than 390 naira per gigabyte by 2025. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, said this while delivering a keynote address at a conference and exhibition of Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria in Abuja. Pantami was represented by the Director of IT Infrastructure Solution Department, National Information Technology Development Agency, NIGDA. Usman Gambo Abdullahi said broadband was the backbone of a digital economy. He said that the event aims at extracting the current level of broadband penetration and consider areas of improvement not only to achieve the 70% broadband penetration, but exceed it. You're watching The Business Now, coming to you live from our studio. Still to come after the break. Air travel demands in Africa grow by 116%. We'll bring you details and more business updates right after this time. Please stay with us.